Yeah.
You better say hi to me.
Say hi to. Come on, chill out, man.
He loves me.
He said it. He said your name. He said Danika.
Danika.
We're watching Chill Out Man live on Twitch.
Chill out, man. There's nothing chill about this.
No, there's nothing
Well,
chill
he's
about
not playing any songs right now. He has a whole list of songs he'll play. Anyway, you could do this, Scott.
Right, I could do this. So this is what people are saying. You should be on Twitch. You should be podcasting. And now, what is the appeal of this? And what is this guy doing with his life? Is what I wonder.
Entertaining us, Scott.
This is entertaining.
I'm entertained.
Aren't there like hundreds and hundreds of good movies you haven't seen yet?
Anyway.
Yeah. So this
Books
is the,
you
this is
haven't
the
read
dilemma
yet.
about modernity, though, Scott.
Podcasts to listen to.
We should
Facts
probably
to
intro.
learn.
We should probably.
Let's do an intro. Go ahead.
What's good, Internet? I'm Austin Walker. Welcome to Waypoint Radio, episode 117. Joined by Danika Herod, whose name I said correctly
Wow,
again.
thank you.
And special,
Scott inspired you to say it correctly.
he did.
Like Harrods of London.
Like
That's
Harrods
literally
London.
how she
It's
introduced
very
it to me.
easy.
And I said, what did I say? I said Danika Herod?
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
For months.
For months.
Yeah.
For months.
Joined by special guest Scott Rogowsky.
Hello.
AKA the Trap Trebek.
AKA the Semitic Sajak, AKA the Bad and Bougie Barker, AKA Meshuggah Martindale, AKA
That
the
one's
Woke
good.
Woolery,
What was the one that I had?
AKA Regis Trilbin,
Can you do the
Regis
one that you
Trilbin's
don't use
good.
anymore that we really
AKA
like?
Scott the Thought Rogowski.
Scott Rogowsky.
Thought
Thought
Rogowski.
Rogowski is extremely good.
You can find me on Thought Catalog. Writing my daily thoughts at Thought Catalog.
I'm so mad. I'm not actually.
Oh my gosh.
It's good.
You're a little mad?
I'm a little mad. It's good.
So we don't have
It's
the
good.
usual, you don't see our mics here because our mic cabinet has been barricaded. But
Yeah, it turns out we're not allowed to have microphones
You'll
anymore.
get your audio straight from the Twitch stream. Very ideal audio. Great sound. So we just streamed a video game. What did you think about
Fibbage.
Fibbage?
Fibbage.
It's fun. It's unlike cribbage, which I liked because I don't like cribbage. But I liked Fibbage. And it was, it reminded me a little bit of apples to apples, kind of like trying to fool your friends, come up with the best lie.
Yeah.
Interactivity, Cookie Masterson.
Yes.
Your new
Tom Gottlieb.
goal.
Your
My
new
new,
goal.
my new
Yes.
waypoint
Right, in
is
life.
now in life is now Tom Gottlieb's career.
Wow. This is the first time you played a video game in...
Probably, since GoldenEye.
Okay.
When did that come out?
Okay, you
We
also
might
played
have
GoldenEye.
that.
You didn't tell us
You did
that.
not tell
You
us
didn't
that.
I
disclose that
friends
information.
would have
course.
GoldenEye, I never had a PSP, an Xbox, an N64, and anything. No Nintendo systems. I had a Sega Genesis.
Yep.
From probably 95 to 98, in that era.
Okay.
No, I wanted the Sega CD so bad, couldn't get that.
Was that what it was?
The
You didn't
Sega
get
Saturn,
CD,
wouldn't
you
get
did
the
Sega
Saturn.
and then that was it. You fell off games.
Exactly. I couldn't. My parents weren't gonna buy me this stuff. But Nikki Fugazi had the Sega Saturn. Carrie Nadell had the Duck Hunt.
Right,
Scott
right,
Goldblatt had the
right.
SNES.
How most of us got into wanting games.
Yeah, it was our friends who had
just
some shit
had
that we
those
did not
games.
have. But now you are, for me, one of the biggest figures in gaming in 2017, the host of HQ Trivia, an app where people can play trivia for real money.
Real money, yeah. You can,
Twice a day.
right. You can download it for free in the App Store.
Only on the App Store.
Only
Sorry,
App Store.
Android users.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
I've heard it. I keep hearing it.
But, the App Store for now. And, every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern, every night of the week, 7 days a week, and every weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m., which means like today.
So you're going
means
there.
today.
Go and-
Well, today I'm actually driving to Boston for a wedding.
Okay,
So
all right.
I
Someone
won't
else
be-
is on.
Someone else is on. Sharon's going to be hosting.
Sharon's good.
Yeah, she's
I
good.
like Sharon.
Yes.
There's some debate about who the best HQ host is.
There's no debate.
Actually, that's true. There's no
There's
debate.
no
There's no
debate.
debate.
You can
There's
debate.
there's
you can
maybe
debate.
debates for who's second
That's
best.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People love Sharon's great. I like Sharon.
Yeah, I
Sharon
like
has
Sharon
a
a
unique
lot.
style.
They're all great.
What's amazing to me is, and it shouldn't have been amazing to me because we do stuff on camera and we deal with the notion that it's actually kind of hard to be on camera, but when you're not there, it's like, oh, this show is different. Like the show has a completely different vibe. And I think when you just play for the first time, you're like, oh, he's just being himself. It's like, no, he's actually like being a fucking host. Had you done hosting before HQ Trivia?
I've been hosting a talk show.
Right.
In one form or another for the past 9 years.
Tell us about that show. What's that? What's
2008, I started doing stand-up. Although I thought it'd be funny if I started doing like open mics for trivia hosting. If I just went to open mic and be like, hey, I've just got some questions I want to ask you guys. And I worked my way through the open mic ranks.
Yeah.
But no,
and then you get tips, and then you distribute those tips to the winners.
just
yeah.
clap if you think it's answer A.
Yeah.
No, I started doing stand-up in college, and then moved to the city after college doing stand-up.
Where did you do college?
Where?
Yeah.
Johns Hopkins in
wow.
Baltimore. Awesome. Baltimore. The Mo's are playing. Hey, yeah. No, you never been to Baltimore, hon? You ever had Burger Cookies and Natty Bow?
Is this a Baltimore
It's a
accent?
Baltimore accent, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, shoot.
From what
Them
year?
Ravens.
What year Baltimore
And Ravens
is
are
this?
playing in Merrill.
This is college Baltimore.
college.
This is like real Baltimore.
Okay.
This is like, Catonsville.
Okay.
Timonium.
The 13
Ellicott
people from
City.
Baltimore listening,
yeah.
like, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
This is a
When
charm
did you-
city, baby.
So is that when you started doing stand-up?
Started doing stand-up. I took an intercession course in the college. There was this thing. They have an option. I was really depressed sophomore year.
Fair. Yes, like you fucking same everybody.
I mean,
Sophomore
come on.
year is rough.
Sophomore year was rough. I know I got mono to start the year.
Oof.
I was,
And not from a good situation?
I don't know how. Probably just like a frat basement, just
Yeah,
breathing
of
in the
course.
fumes.
Yeah.
And then it was a really bad winter, just seasonal affective disorder kicking in. And I was like, what am I doing? I want to go to culinary school. That's what I wanted to do.
have been a chef.
I was like, I like to cook. I like food. I'll go to college. It's a great skill to have for your life, whether you do it professionally or not.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I was like, what am I learning at Hopkins? Statistics,
Was that what were you majoring in?
political science.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But I had to take statistics,
Yeah,
which
I
really
understand.
bothered me.
Yeah.
Anyway, this intercession course happened, and it was like a 3-week course on stand-up comedy. The class was stand-up comedy and society. It was taught by a grad student named Adam Rubin, who had been doing comedy in D.C. And he's like we showed George Carlin clips and Richard Belzer, old stand-up clips, and he kind of made us workshop our own material. And the final project was 5 minutes of material in front of an audience. He advertised across school, and this was January 28th, 2005, and people were still not quite back on campus, but enough were. And they were like, we got nothing to do. 350 people packed into this small room for my first show ever.
Was it your first time being
First time
like
doing
on a
stand-up.
stage in front of anybody?
So
or?
I was student body president in high school,
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
which I won on the strength of my funny speeches. That's like
So
my
you know how to
proto
talk.
stand-up
You know how to
career.
talk.
You didn't have a platform. What you had was jokes.
I had jokes. I never did governing council or student, and I beat out all the nerds who were like, I've been student president, class president for 4 years, treasurer, secretary, and all these guys were like, going to Harvard, and I'm like, yeah. Here's a Beanie Baby, and then I threw at the, I throw Beanie Babies out in the
High
crowd.
school
Okay.
material
That's-
needs a little work
Vote for
sometimes,
me.
but
Whatever. So, no, my line was, you can go to Lee's Chinese, which was like the local Chinese place, and order chicken lo mein, beef and broccoli, and dumplings, and in 10 minutes, it'll be ready for you. I said, if Lee's Chinese can accomplish that in 10 minutes, just imagine what I can do in 1 year as student body president.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Scott
Same,
would have won.
Same, yeah.
know?
Scott would have won.
And I did. So that was like my proto stand-up career. And then in college, I did the stand-up class, and people after that show, people were like, "Oh my God, have you done this before?" I was like, "No." They're like, "You should do this." Strangers were like, "You should do this." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Okay, maybe I'll try." So I tried at an open mic 2 weeks later in D.C.
Same material.
Same material, bombed. Completely bombed. Because at this coffee shop, no one was listening. But I learned my first lesson. It's all about audiences. Seinfeld would say in Comedian, he's like, "It's not about the audience. It's about you." It's like, dude,
bullshit.
No, it's
how would
completely
Seinfeld say?
about-
For Seinfeld, of course, because at this point,
Yeah,
every audience
it's
is going
his
to love
audience.
it.
Yeah.
But no, when you're starting out and you're nobody, it's 300 kids who are also your classmates,
Right.
whooping it up, laughing at your immature jokes, versus like 40 disinterested coffee shop
Right,
on their
right.
computers, not barely listening. Yeah, there's going to be a difference there, Jerry Seinfeld. The material is exactly the same.
You should just switch with him. Have him come do the coffee shop circuit
Yeah.
and see how his stuff
Yeah,
is.
in like Kazakhstan or something, they don't know who he
They
is.
have no idea who he is. They know who he is in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, they probably
Where
know
is
he's
he?
They
everywhere.
know who he, who he is everywhere.
Burma?
Everywhere.
Where do you have to go? Like a military junta? Where's there like a...
I feel like this is the thing. It's like America got real good at selling stuff everywhere,
Right.
including
Yes.
and Seinfeld sells well.
North
So I
Korea
bet-
probably would sell out in North
course,
Korea,
of
Pyongyang,
course.
yeah.
That would be a great special, Seinfeld in Pyongyang.
Yeah.
We'll just put it up on Netflix. We'll see if Netflix can
Like
make it
Billy
happen.
Crystal in
They
the
can make it
Soviet
happen.
Union.
They could make it
They can
happen
make anything
these
happen.
days.
So anyway, I in 2008, I pivoted to talk shows. Before people pivoted to video, I pivoted to talk shows and
What
started...
was the why? What was the
because
impetus?
I was like, I just was getting tired of standing up. I wanted to just take a seat.
Seat.
And
Good reason.
You prefer to sit down
I
and
prefer to
talk.
sit down. I know, this is my favorite thing, sitting down,
Okay.
talking to people, interacting.
Well,
and-
you're standing twice a day to talk
I
right
know,
now, so.
I know. It takes a lot off my knees here,
Yep.
but no. So there was a sports comedy talk show called 12 Angry Mascots.
Okay.
That I found that this guy Neil Janowitz worked at ESPN the magazine. We sort of combined his sports contacts with my comedy contacts, and
Cool.
we booked comedians, we booked athletes, and we had sports sketches, and we did that for 3 years. At the Pit, Comics Comedy Club, UCB is where our first show was, which just closed, UCB Chelsea.
Yeah.
And anyway, that ran its course up to 3 years, and then I started running late with Scott Rogowsky in October 2011. And that's still going. I mean, I wouldn't say it's going as strong as it was, just because I haven't done a show since September. And
you need to do those for it to keep happening.
We're sort of on an HQ hiatus.
Is that what
as
it
I
is?
sort of I have to put my I have to book more shows. Right? I have to book more running late shows, which I haven't done yet. But no, I'm sure I can find a night off or two to do running late.
And you'd probably get a bit more people.
Yeah. Well, now. It's funny.
You're a household name at this point.
In November, I booked a different type of show. It was just a stand-up show. We called it Scott Rogowsky and Acquaintances.
Okay.
And I just decided, let me see if I can get some stand-up friends of mine to do a stand-up showcase. And I hosted it, ran back to do HQ, and then ran back to the show to close it out just to say goodbye to everybody. But during the intro, when I did my 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, so I did this thing called HQ, and people were like, whooping it. So I guess they're HQ fans then, and this was a month ago.
Yeah. And it's been a big month. You were
It's
just
been
on
a big month.
It's been a big month.
It's been a big
Good
month.
Morning America on Tuesday?
Monday? It was sometime this week.
It was Tuesday, I think.
The days are blurring
I know,
together.
today's Friday.
How's that?
Maybe it was Wednesday.
How's that feeling? How does it feel?
It was the day Matt Lauer broke that thing.
Okay.
So it was a good thing I wasn't doing Today's show.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
right,
you picked
right.
well.
Although I could have been a trivia question. It was Matt Lauer's last interview. Could have been me.
It could have been you.
No.
Could have been
You
me.
could have been a trivia question.
Could have been me.
So what's it been like going from doing like talk shows and stand up to being like a household name and being on TV?
Yeah, I mean, is it TV? I don't know what you call this. It's not TV. It's not HBO. It's
Right.
not
Well, it is.
delivery.
The thing
It's not DiGiorno.
It's HQ.
It's HQ.
It's HQ.
It's HQ.
That's our very long
That's
and
on
cumbersome
the
tagline.
next sweatshirt.
The
that
next
you put out.
sweatshirt.
Let me just that whole thing. Well, the thing that's interesting about it, and credit goes to a friend of the show, Brad Shoemaker over at Giant Bomb for pointing this out, that in a time where no one tunes in to watch things at the same time, HQ Trivia is destination television.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone at specific times picks up their phone and says, I want to do this along with everybody else.
Yes.
And partially because it's live, and partially because it's like collective like
Yeah,
that.
you have to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
And it harkens back to the way we used to consume media, which was, people watching this probably don't remember a time before DVR. But, if you had to get the TV guide.
Yep.
Oh, you want to see this movie? You want to?
Yeah.
There's no VCRs even back. Really going back. You had to be in front of your TV watching Johnny Carson, watching MASH.
Right.
People do record the show and put it up on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen this.
I know.
Wait, with TV shows now?
No, with HQ.
With HQ.
Oh, with HQ. Oh, I've seen
But
that.
there
I've seen
should
that.
be, yeah. I think the lawyers are on the. I don't know.
Okay.
No, but like, isn't that
We understand that because there's some Waypoint channels.
Yeah.
of course
floating around.
always? But is that like one of those things where, for you, it's just like, oh, I show up and I do jokes and I read some questions, and that's just like my job.
I almost
and
prefer if they didn't get archived because it's like I kind of like the fact that it's there and gone, like Snapchat.
Right.
I mean, and then if I tell a bad joke, no one's gonna know.
someone write that headline is like Jeopardy for the Snapchat generation, right? Like that's
Oh, there
the
you
easy
go.
dunk
Yeah,
on
that's-
what HQ is.
Right.
Right.
Put that in the headline chat
for
me.
the avocado
Okay,
toast
okay.
generation.
Right, exactly, for us, for millennials.
So what's it been like though, just getting noticed and known by more people? People see you and they're like, "That's Scott. I gotta talk to him."
People shout, "Yo,
Someone
Rogo."
stopped me in the bathroom and they're like, "You got Scott? I want to meet him."
I mean, it's,
What is that like?
It's not happening as much as maybe people think. I think like in certain offices, yes, if I come to Vice, people are going to recognize me walking around. But and then again, last night at dinner, these two guys next to me, I was like, oh, I just just banging chat. I'm like, oh, that looks good. This guy ordered French toast. This guy ordered French toast at 10 o'clock, and I'm like,
That sounds
man.
great.
The
That's the way. That's
goals,
life.
goals,
Yeah, frankly.
Breakfast,
I'm like,
every meal.
That looks good. He's like, yeah. By the way, huge fan. And I'm like, and I was like, of what?
French toast?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Huge
like
fan.
HQ. I mean, it's still hard to like. But no, it's very cool. It's very flattering. I had this viral video a couple years ago. This book covers on the subway.
We've seen it. Yeah.
That was the first introduction to being known
Right.
on a wider scale because I was getting recognized from that.
I bet, and those have increased in views like a ton, right? Especially like
millions and millions and
with the
millions.
ass eating one.
The ass eating
How
one has done well.
Yeah,
for you.
they have. Yeah, it's
I
done
think.
very well for me in
Yes.
every aspect of my life.
Yeah. Just gonna put yourself out there. Let people
I'm
know.
out there. People know.
People know you're studious. Like that's really what I think is important about that is it takes work and knowledge, and you're committed. Obviously, with HQ, we already knew you were committed to knowledge, but it's good to know that you're putting in the work to understand ass eating also.
I've done my
okay.
research. You do yours.
That's exactly it. That's the third shirt.
Right.
but not on Google. It says underneath that. Don't do it on Google in the middle of my fucking show. So I guess the other one for me is like this isn't just like Destination Trivia TV. It's also Destination Trivia TV in 2017. While it feels like the world is falling apart, Michael Flynn just pled guilty to a crime and what might be, should be, hopefully is a plea deal.
The first
Jenga block.
The first Jenga block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it on games.
By the way, who's dropping all these shoes?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Where did that phrase
I
come
don't
from?
know.
It's a big man in the sky. Yeah. Just plop.
I mean, they're only 2 shoes.
No,
How many can
you
you
have more
drop?
than 2 shoes.
The other shoe drops?
You put on a different
Unless
shoe.
you're like a shoe clerk and you're holding a whole
I
bunch
just
of
think
shoes.
you hit someone with a nice shoe closet. Someone
They're
who's
like hanging on
they're
a
collecting.
they're
Yeah,
hanging
like
on
a
a
shoe
cable
rack.
outside. Actually.
Oh, that's actually true. They threw them up there. They jacked you for your shoes, threw them up there, and now they're falling off the cables. But like, you are this weird, bubbly, bright voice every day in the middle of the world being on fire. Do you ever think about that? Does that ever sink into your brain?
We try to keep it nonpartisan. We try to keep it, yes, because we want it to be, not necessarily an escape, but I guess it is like a respite, refuge from all the craziness going on. And it's what's really the most amazing thing about the HQ response has been seeing the community that we've built, just completely organically, seeing offices playing together, classrooms stopping to play, soccer teams, people video now, them winning the game and sending it to us on Twitter. We're seeing families on Thanksgiving, children, young adults, parents, grandparents, everyone playing together. It's what the internet was intended for, right? Well, John Perry Barlow, all these like computer theorists, like the internet, we're going to bring people together, this utopian thing on the web.
Right.
And of course, it went the complete other way.
Right.
Great, hate groups can get together and like the white nationalists can, but we're bringing good
And you let us swipe
people.
left to hide chat if we need
And,
to.
and if you want, right, because
Just so you know.
But like it's strengthening friendships, work relationships, I think, team building. I mean, actually, some people are saying we're actually making this an official policy. We want the office playing together because it's
like a little break.
It takes a break, and I'm going to get to know the person who works on the other side of the office, and we're all most offices are quiet.
Okay, here's a question. I'm going to get into some fucking rules lawyering. You say don't Google, but if we're playing together, can we collaborate on answers?
Of course.
So that's allowed.
That's allowed. Use the
Collaborations
Google
are
in your
always
head.
allowed.
Use your Google net. That's it. Networking. Build those networks. That get the more brains.
All right,
the
what
better.
if we're in a group chat though? Can we collaborate in a group chat?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No,
all
first of
that's
all,
against
I
the
can't
rules.
dictate what you do. You can do whatever you want.
You're wearing a shirt that says I don't Google.
Yeah.
You're trying to
He's
legislate
He's
through.
setting an example, okay?
Okay.
Trying to just
and
spread the word that
Thank you for good cop, bad copping this.
He's
with
not
me.
saying it. He's not telling you to your face, I
Right.
don't Google, but he's,
But he's wearing a
letting you know
propagandistic-
gently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, since I can't play the game, which
Right.
is my greatest shame, but you guys can play. So, what is the sense in Googling? Can I are you playing to win the money, or are you playing to test your knowledge, or are you playing because you're entertained?
I see what you're saying.
Like,
You know what? That's a really great question.
what is the point of Googling if it's just to win the money? Okay,
Who cares?
But is that fun? Just to
Right.
Having money can be fun, yes,
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah.
I think for me in the beginning I was only playing for the money because we were playing, like we've been playing since the beginning. Shout out Casey Malone who
Shout out to Casey Malone.
told us to play.
How many people were in the game when you started?
Like 1,000. It was like
it was like 4 digits. There were times we
was
played
no
with
one.
under 4 digits, I think.
Yeah.
Now this is the new hipster
Yeah.
badge of honor.
Yeah.
Right.
When did you get
Right.
into HQ?
I wish it had a date on it that knew, so I could get that shirt with that
If I
inscribed.
got
joined.
the name Gamer Girl, like I
You did
feel
get
like
the-
I was in there
you
pretty
did get the
early.
name
I got
Gamer
Gamer
Girl.
Girl.
You're Gamer
yeah.
Girl.
I'm
Yeah.
Gamer Girl.
Shout
yeah.
out to Gamer Girl.
Yeah.
Shout out to and woke gamers.
And
Feel
woke
free to give me
gamers and
some
all your woke
extra
gamers.
lives, everybody watching. Thanks.
But that's cool. People like I was playing with. There were only 800 people.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's the new I grew up in Brooklyn.
Right, exactly. Fuck. I think the reason that people Google, so for me, I can play the game in a bunch of different modes, and sometimes it's like 9 p.m. and I'm like eating dinner alone. I'm like, I just want to just answer a couple questions. It's a fun way to pass time, and I'm not going to look up anything there. But there are times when it's like, all right, this is $3,000. This is a big game. And then for me, the game switches because
Interesting, so-
it isn't even about the money. I gamify how quick can I find the answer to this, and that becomes part of the challenge for me. Like people who followed me for a long time know that I have a great point of pride that I'm actually really good at Google because I used to have a job as a trademark researcher, which meant my job was like Googling to see things, find out who owned things really secretly, and so it's a fun challenge for me to be like, all right, this is a hard question to Google the answer for. There are questions that are like the one last night I think it was, which was like, which of these members was in all three of, which of these musicians was in 3 different bands, right? It was 2 nights ago or something like that.
Oh yeah. It was the final question.
The final question.
It was Which means it was in Red Cross.
Yes.
Bad Circle Jerks and Bad Religion.
Bad Religion.
Right.
And that's a tough question to Google for because they were all in one band together,
Right.
all in Circle Jerks
I
together.
believe.
And so for me, it ends up being like, what's the best search term that I can find to get this answer? And that is like this little sub game that I'm playing occasionally.
And you can consider that a skill.
Right, for me it
or
is
a talent.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
So, so would you say
So you're good at cheating?
I'm good at cheating.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not the only way I play it. I do also like to play it with just like, we'll hang out.
Right.
And then like, oh, we're all playing. And then it's like, oh, no, I think it's Guam. Well, I think it's
We like
Spain.
to be in our chat group and be like, okay, and then we'll all lose and we're like, I'm out.
I'm out.
But then can
We're
I
just
ask,
like, I'm out.
is it really that easy to Google? I mean,
It's
awful.
It's so hard.
It's
'cause,
awful.
Yeah, well,
Some of those
which
questions
it should
are like-
be. It should be, right.
Yeah.
But, you have 10 seconds for when I start reading
You have
the question.
less. You have less than
that's a-
10.
that's-
Because you take your time.
Do
from
you?
when I
Here's a
started.
question. Do you take slower sometimes on purpose for certain questions?
No.
Okay. Sometimes the questions are just long.
Yeah. that's
Sometimes
true.
they're long.
And you have 3 seconds.
And you have 3 seconds to listen to me, process the question,
Yeah.
and then you have to decide, do you know it, do you Google it? So
Yeah.
I don't even know how people Google it. I mean, I guess...
I haven't for the last 10 times.
The last few
probably.
times I haven't, but I like.
In
Because I
fact-
was at a restaurant when I did the one we just talked about. It's like I wish I could Google this.
hurting.
Right, I would
Right.
posit
I
that
know.
if you tried to Google it, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't answer in time, you're going to get out, you're going to get eliminated
That has
quicker
happened, 100%.
than just trying to maybe make an educated guess.
Totally. Totally.
So-
well, and those are my actual favorite questions are the ones where it's like, all right, I don't know what this answer is, but process of elimination, I know it's not this, I know it's not that. Where it's like, oh, the tree one yesterday or whatever, the longest measured whatever, blah,
Blue
blah,
whale,
blah.
giant sequoia,
Right. And
super source.
Super source. And the thing that I realized was the way the question was written was measured to be the longest. You don't measure a super source. So even if it is true that a super source is the longest, no one's measured a super source.
Well, you have skeletal remains.
it's
you
not a
measure.
super source. It's a skeleton of a super source.
Okay, but
Anyway, that's why I guess
but
sequoia.
you're right.
And like,
And also, super source just sounds like a fake
It's a
thing.
fake
It is
thing.
a
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
It turns out to be
yeah.
a
it's a
real
fake
dinosaur.
bullshit dinosaur.
It's a real dinosaur, but super source.
What are your favorite questions to ask? Like, do you ever get one where you're like, this is a bullshit question, or ones where you're like, this is gonna stop them. This is gonna be savage.
Yeah, I mean, we try to grade eight them so it's easy to difficult. I like the ones where there's a bit of a story involved. Like the one there was a final question the other night was who was the first criminal to be apprehended with the use of wireless technology? Like, how cool is that question?
Yeah, that's
so
a
like
very good
there's
question.
there's a real guy who committed this murder. He murdered his wife
Right.
in London, and then he fled on this ocean liner to Canada with his mistress. Okay, so then Scotland Yard got wind of this.
And then they-
the captain of that ship recognized him. I guess they put out a
Right.
look for this man, this description, APB. The captain was within range to land, as the boat was already in the water, but he was within range to have his telegrapher send a telegraph
Wow.
to Scotland Yard, the British authorities, saying,
Yeah.
I think this guy's on our boat. He's with a woman dressed like a boy.
Right.
And then the inspector took a White Star liner, a faster boat, first class, beat the other boat to Canada. If the guy spent
Right.
a little more money and
Right.
went first class, he would have
would've
got
got away.
But the
That's
inspector
great.
in first class caught up with the dude in the St. Lawrence Seaway, boarded the ship,
What the
arrested
hell?
him. His name was Dr. Hawley Harvey Crippen for the win,
Great
baby!
name. 3 names.
Oh my
Dr.
gosh.
Crippen. It's always 3 names.
It's always 3 names. It's always 3 names.
HHC.
H is the original criminal, the
So
original
that's a
Wi-Fi
cool
criminal.
question.
That's a cool question.
And he, like,
Very
Well,
cool.
yeah.
I love those questions because that is the thing that's like, this isn't just trivia. This is knowledge, right? Like, this is the
Knowledge,
difference between
history.
it. Right. There's a story there that kind of
Yeah.
puts you in a place and a time and makes you think about the way that technology has changed the world, or that the world has changed over time in general. I like
Yeah,
that stuff. That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
And I like, obviously, the sports
Yeah.
questions. I'm a sports
You're a
guy.
sports
I know
You're a
it's
sports
not the
guy,
right
yeah.
audience for it. But
It's
No,
the-
we have a lot of sports fans.
We have a lot of sports fans.
Yeah.
Sports are games. It turns
Sports are
out.
sports.
Like
Sports
that's
is sports,
sports
right?
are sports.
Yeah,
Sports are
exactly.
games.
If you're a gamer, you have to appreciate sports. It's the first game.
That's how I feel like
Mm-hmm,
this is like I've had this discussion with a lot of people. One, we've talked about how like I want games journalism to look more like sports journalism because sports journalism is actually super good.
Yeah.
Often, not always, but often there's like really great like profile pieces.
Shout out
and
David
investi-
Halberstam.
There we go. And so then the other thing though is like sports. We get nerdy about shit in RPGs, like best character builds and like, do I want to spec my guy to be fire damage or ice damage or whatever bullshit. That's not that different from like building, a team in baseball or fantasy.
What about
team.
fantasy? I mean, fantasy's really
Right.
like the
Right.
Yes,
that's
it's
the
same
combo,
thing. Yes.
right?
No one should shit talk anybody. If you have a fantasy team and you're shit talking gamers, or
Yeah.
if you're shit talking gamers maybe, but if you're shit talking people who play games,
So what's the difference between a gamer and someone who plays games? Is
Scott.
this something? Is this a touchy subject?
yeah,
People
well,
use gamer
pejoratively.
As a derogatory kind of thing, I
Yeah.
guess, against like the
There's, like,
dark
a
side
loop.
of games. You know, there's kind of like a dark
that whole
and
gamer game, like I'm so
You're so out of it.
out
it's
of it. I
bad.
couldn't
All you need to
understand it.
know is that it's
Yeah.
bad.
Well, here, what you need to
understand
know
it.
is that like it's there was a period at which it did feel like we were all gamers and together, and then what became very clear were there are people inside of the community of gamers that were like, no, a real gamer only does X, a real gamer only does Y, and like this is my identity. And then there was another half of that group, another part of the group was like, ooh, maybe I don't want to be a gamer then. Maybe I just want to be someone who plays games, and that's totally chill. And then that
Which I think it's all blown. The whole gamer, what's a gamer, what's not a gamer, is totally blown out of proportion. I consider myself a gamer.
You're a
like,
gamer. You are a
whatever.
gamer girl.
I tweeted
You
on
are
Waypoint
at
last
gamer
night.
girl.
Where are the gamers at? You know.
You did do
and
that.
some people were like, "Oh no, they're not. They don't exist. They're not here." And other people were like, "What's up?
What's
you
up?
Know?
It's me. I'm the gamer.
Yeah.
I'm the woke gamer.
I am the woke gamer.
Do you know what woke? Are you up on woke
I'm
Discord?
up on
He knows
woke.
what woke is.
I'm
But
up on
wait,
woke.
are you up on woke, or are you up on woke where it was like 2015?
Okay, maybe the 2015 woke.
Okay.
What's the new woke?
The woke versus progressive, like.
By
The internet's
I'm so
exhausted.
tired.
I know. See,
You know what?
How can I be woke
Don't
if
even
I'm
worry about it.
exhausted and want to sleep?
It's
You're
2017.
asleep. Anyway, the woke gamer is kind of a joke about one of our teammates, Patrick, who played.
I was just blessed myself as if
He
he died. He
played-
isn't. He's fine.
He pretended to be this
He
like.
does like the Bears though, so
That Bears.
he's
Oh, yeah,
not
he
a good
likes
year
Bears.
for him.
He pretended to be like a centrist guy who really liked video games, but was like, we got to see both sides, friends, you know,
Yeah.
and
maybe the Nazis make some good points. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
we should have a
yeah.
game where we can see games from the Nazis.
So that's
so
where
that,
the woke
so it
gamer
was that
comes
That's sort of
kinda-
like those sort of like performative wokeness that falls apart and doesn't have.
Right.
And that's where I think woke gets used a lot these days.
Yeah.
This is all reminding me of my friend, the comedian Tony Zarrett. Shout out Tony Zarrett. Makes these hilarious Instagram parodies of memes and things. And he'll make these ridiculous memes like, a real gamer only eats fresh radishes.
That's
or
extremely
something.
good. That's so good.
They're ridiculous and so funny.
I was like, is he going to say Doritos? No,
No,
he's going to say
radishes
the
is
absolute
extreme.
Yeah,
opposite.
like it's just some absurd,
Right,
you know.
right. It's
good,
and
it's
the
good, it's
meme
good.
looks.
What is like? Let's talk about comedy a little bit. We
Yeah.
have a little bit of time left, but like, who's working for you right now in comedy? Who are your favorite comedians out there? Who are people that
my
our
gosh.
audience should look into, pay attention to?
There's just one name above all, Andy Kindler. Andy Kindler. Are you familiar with Andy
Yeah.
Kindler?
I'm not.
He's
that
just,
familiar.
you know, he's an older gentleman in the comedy scene. He's been doing it for 30-something years. I just saw him in Brooklyn last week
Nice.
at Union Hall. To me, hands down, the funniest guy. Just because he kind of, you know, he deconstructs the whole stand-up comedy thing. He makes fun of himself constantly and makes fun of the whole. He's famous for doing these yearly State of the Union, State of the Industry addresses
Okay.
at Just for Laughs, which is the big comedy festival in Montreal, where he just rips on Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, you know, everybody big. Louis
gonna
C.K.
be- it's gonna be a rough year.
Yeah, Louis
Yeah.
C.K. He was on Louis C.K. like 4 or 5 years ago. He was, you know, on the ground floor of that. But it's just it kind of speaks for all the little guys in comedy. He's sort of the mouthpiece for all of us. And I mean, Jonathan Katz, another classic, Dr. Katz.
Katz.
Yep.
You know, I kind of have the, you know, I love the, I guess the older generation of stand-ups. But then currently, I mean, John Mulaney, I find hilarious. Nick
Mulaney's
Kroll,
huge.
the Sklar brothers are some of my favorites. I get to work with them a lot. You know, there's so many.
Who would you like to
David
work
Tell.
with? Yeah, well,
yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Who would you love to work with that you haven't had a chance to work with yet, besides Carson Daly?
I mean, yeah, Carson Daly, who just followed me on Twitter last night.
This is where you're at. I
The
love this
TLC
so
man
much.
himself.
I love this
This
so
is
much
where I'm
because
at.
for a lot of the people in our audience, you're a bigger celebrity than Carson Daly is
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, people care more about you than
But I
Carson.
know.
I'm turning 58 on Monday.
Right.
Carson
You look
Daly.
great,
I
by
grew
the
up
way.
watching Carson
Yeah,
Daly.
yeah, great. Looking great for 58.
No, but Carson.
I have a card for
College
you.
in 2005.
College
Just
is not-
not- okay.
Listen,
Look, I was
sometimes
held back. A
Right.
lot,
Okay, a lot. All right,
Thank you.
yeah.
So he wasn't allowed to have video games because he had such bad grades.
I had Atari.
Right. Pong.
Pong.
That's
Yeah.
why he likes
all
sports. He
right.
was around for the first Olympics.
Actually, Scott Goldblatt did have Atari before any of this stuff. He was one of the early ones. What was the game that you swing on the, and there's like a jungle man and the
Donkey
alligator? Not Donkey
Oh,
Kong.
Pitfall.
Pitfall.
Pitfall's a great game.
Pitfall, yes,
I played Pitfall. That was probably the first video game I ever played. But no, getting back to who do I want to work with? I mean, all those names I mentioned. I mean,
Yeah.
they're you know. Thankfully, with my Running Late show, I host a show
Right.
called Running Late. I brought it to LA. I was able to have Andy Kindler on the show, have the Sklar brothers, Reggie Watts, Weird Al
also.
Yankovic, I
Right.
mean, hero.
Right.
You know, Ben Schwartz.
Would you ever do music comedy? Would you ever do?
Oh, a parody
I
song.
would love to. I mean, let's get quizzical. And then You know,
Think it
there's that.
one more time. What's the rest of that
Let's
line?
get quizzical, quizzical. I have to figure out the rest of the song.
Okay, but you got that. But you got the hook is there.
And then there's another song I was thinking about the other night. I'm always coming up with parody songs. This has nothing to do with quizzes, but I just want to vape with somebody. I just want to smoke cigs with somebody.
That's actually good.
Yeah, my grandma would like that
I want
song.
to vape with somebody. Just somebody to blow flavored steam with.
It's good. Do you vape?
No,
How do you vape?
never. I just find vaping hilarious.
My grandma loves e-cigs, so she would probably enjoy that
That's
song.
the best
very much.
demographic for me of vapors. Like my stepmom vapes because
Yeah.
she tried to quit cigarettes.
Yep.
And like
Yep. Oma
that's
too.
the
Oma
fucking
too.
best. Like I love people who are 50 or older who are smoking e-cigarettes.
That's amazing.
Especially if they light up at the end like a fucking future Blade Runner cigarette. It's the
That's
best.
Oma's blue.
Well,
blue
we're
at the
still
end.
talking about comedy heroes. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Tom Sharpling, John Worster, The Best Show, which is a podcast, radio show I listened to for many, many years. Sharpling and Worster are the funniest guys ever. And Tom Sharpling has a character he just started called the Vape Ventriloquist. Billy, the vape dummy, he's got a dummy that vapes, and he's vaping.
Did he build it himself? Did he?
Yeah, he built this thing
Oh,
out.
that's
He
so good.
vapes, and the dummy, all the jokes about vaping.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
It is
Good. We'll look it
amazing.
up.
Very
Yeah.
with the times.
Yeah, people listen.
People are
vaping
vaping.
is just
Vaping
crossing
is funny.
over.
Vaping is still
My
funny.
favorite thing is still vape stores because they all have the worst names.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the people standing in front vaping, those kind of like
And how are there
advertisements.
so
I'm
many
actually
of these vape
not mad at them. I'd hang. If I was like 19, I would definitely hang out in front of a vape store. That's definitely where my life would be.
My theory is all these vape stores are just like staking out the real estate for when weed is legalized.
Totally.
And then boom,
Right.
they
Like
got
in,
it.
like in Seattle, they're
Yeah,
every
they are.
every corner
Totally.
there's a weed
Right.
shop.
Yeah.
That's
there's
a good call.
Colorado recently,
Yeah.
they're all just vape and weed. It just becomes one and the same.
V.
So before we let you go, thank you for that. We brought new terminology into the world. New
Yep,
jargon
yep,
exists
yep.
now. If someone wanted to get into stand-up comedy, if someone wanted to get into hosting, like,
Right.
besides taking this one specific course at Johns Hopkins,
right.
What do you do? How do you do it?
You don't.
Okay.
You just don't do
Are
it.
you in
You're
that club
better
of,
off
like,
going
don't
to
fucking
video
do
game
this?
journalism.
No, they
no,
are
you're
fucking
not.
not.
We tell people
We
the
do
same,
the same
thing when they
thing.
ask us. We're
Which is
like,
like,
you
are you
don't.
sure?
You just
Yeah.
don't.
No,
Hey,
but
let's say you're talking to somebody who's like, I know the statistics. It's bad. I
Yeah.
know I have a low chance of success. I know, but I have this fucking sickness in me. I
Yeah.
want to get on stage and tell jokes.
Yeah.
I want to be funny. I want to this is what I have to. And I don't want to do it. I have to do it. It's the only thing that makes me happy.
Then you just
what do you
it.
do?
You just do it. I mean, so I had a guy email me a couple weeks ago. He's the brother of a guy who was in my sister's class. So
Okay.
didn't really know his brother and didn't know him at all. He's like
Right.
much younger than me. He's like, listen, I've always wanted to be a game show host. My bar mitzvah theme was game shows. I'm obsessed with the game show network, Buzzer Network.
Right.
I love game shows. Can we meet up? Can we get a coffee? And I said, all right, yeah, we'll get a coffee. Got a coffee with him. And I'm like, so you love game shows. That's cool. Like, have you ever hosted anything? No. All right, well, you want to host game shows, you should probably host something.
Right.
You do it now while you can. I said, go to an open mic. I mean, have you ever done stand-up? No. I said, well, these days they kind of look at stand-ups, comedians, improvisers as hosts. So either do improv, do stand-up, or, I don't know, start your own public access game show. I mean,
Make
you
a
have to just
YouTube-
Make a YouTube.
make a
channel,
YouTube
like-
Public
but
access
you got
YouTube.
whatever it
Twitch.
is.
Get on
Yeah.
Twitch. You should go
Sure,
on
chill
Twitch.
out, Steve.
Chill out, man.
Chill out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our favorite. Trill out, man. Trill out, man. Also,
Chill Out Man is way
another
better.
AKA
way
Trill Out
better.
Man.
If I reference chill out, man, on HQ, will anyone understand it?
No. But they will all go to his channel and make
He'll
him very
have more
happy.
viewers than we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no,
Before
just
you
you gotta
go-
do it. Just you gotta do it.
Can I give you a new AKA? Can I offer
Absolutely.
you? Do you know what Slauson Avenue is in LA? It's a very important avenue.
Slauson?
Slauson, yeah, it's a very
I've heard of
important.
Slauson.
It's a very important avenue in hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knight you, Richard Slauson.
Richard Slauson.
That's
Richard
a
Dawson.
good Richard Dawson, Slauson Avenue.
Richard
That
Slauson,
is
okay.
really deep
It's-
cut. You
it's a
gotta go.
deep cut.
Richard Dawson. You gotta know Slauson.
You gotta,
Avenue.
Yep.
yeah, but
yeah.
let me tell you, if you're one of the 8 people who knows it,
Yeah?
that shit plays. Jeff Gerstmann laughed at it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, that's all you're gonna
That's
say.
all. It's me and Jeff.
If
and that is
Gerstmann
it.
finds it funny,
That's it. Thank you so much for coming on, Scott.
Hey,
We're gonna let you
thank
go
you
to this
guys.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't your wedding, right?
it's
You're
not
going.
my wedding. No, my buddy Rob Rogers. Shout out to Rob and Rachel getting married
congrats.
tonight, tomorrow.
They're,
Yeah.
they're watching for
They're,
sure.
they're definitely watching. Nothing else going on.
Is it in the world today? No.
No.
Everybody's watching Waypoint.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, at HQ Trivia, if you want to play HQ every day, 3 p.m. night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Download it for free, HQ in the App Store. And if you want to find me, I'm at Scott Rogowsky on Twitter. Rogowsky, because I love you.
Oh, good.
And on Instagram, I have a Running Late at Instagram, Running Late Show at Instagram, but also at Trap Trebek on Instagram.
And if you're at Scott Rogowsky on Instagram,
Give it
Yeah.
up.
Give it up.
Apparently
up.
someone's
Just
squatting
give it
on
up.
Scott Rogowsky.
just trade it.
I'm working
It also
on
might be past Scott Rogowsky who's squatting on
Could
it.
also be me from 4 years ago. But Trap Trebek works.
It
in the
works.
meantime.
It's good. It's good. Shout outs to Cardi B, of course.
Shout out to Cardi B for Trap
And
Trebek.
shout outs to Bowen for letting us use this track Miss You off the EP Pale Machine as our theme song. You can find out more about that at waypoint.zone. Danika, where can people find you?
You can find me on the internet at Danika Herod.
You can find me at Austin_Walker.
They've already found you guys. Are you kidding?
Hey, listen, no, your fans. Your fans are listening.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
your fans. Listen
Find
to me.
out about
You know
the
what?
truth about
My
Scott's
We gotta borrow some of
backstory.
your fans.
My
Thanks.
fans are so different from your fans. You got them into HQ.
But you other groups. We talked about this. We
Okay.
talked about how like the Jenna Marbles and the Runts
Right,
and the
Yes.
right.
other internet people have
Give
brought
us
their
those YouTuber fans.
Give us those YouTuber fans. YouTube.com/WaypointVice.
Wow.
I got there eventually.
Twitter.com/Waypoint,
YouTube.
Facebook.com/WaypointVice. You know what the deal is.
Twitch.tv/Waypoint to watch
Yes.
interviews like this and watch us play video games.
You know what it.biz.
That is one of our. We may have given that away.
No, I don't think we did.
Anyway.
Discourse.zone for the forums.
Discourse.zone for the forums. We have a lot of URLs.
Haunted.domains to see all of our URLs. Thanks.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back on Monday for more video games.
And we'll make sure we say happy birthday to you on Monday.
Oh, thanks.
We'll
Do
just
you
be
have
like
any
happy
birthday
58th
I
birthday.
have no
Are you
birthday
working?
plans. I'm gonna
Well,
do
feel
the
free
show.
to
Can
come
you
back
wear a
on.
birthday
Happy.
hat?
Maybe.
Get a birthday candle, cake.
Maybe we'll have something figured out for me.
They'll have stuff
they
for
better.
you.
All right, and you will not be on tonight, but
Won't
everyone
be
should
on
play
tonight, but
tonight.
play-
anyway.
play today at
And
3 p.m., 9 p.m.
Be
Sharon-
fucking nice to Sharon.
Sharon's my favorite host. Let's be
Sharon's
honest.
great.
Sharon's your girl.
Sharon
That's
is
right.
great.
Sharon's my favorite
It's
host.
when you play. You
Yeah.
play. Yeah, totally. All right, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. Peace.